The disease infesting Hollywood has birthed another festering sore onto a streaming platform. This doesn't mean I hate Echo. There were a few things I liked. A lot of things were boring. There was a couple things I really didn't. Man, I'd really like to see these 3 episodes that we're missing. Oh, how bad could they have been? Overall, is it the worst thing Marvel's ever made? No. Is it the most boring? It runs right there with Sleepy Invasion.
We're so fucking boring!
Now, I like the mending the broken family dynamic. That's not a bad theme to have in a television show. I liked Biscuit. I know a lot of people were saying he was an emasculated male, but I had a friend 20 years ago that was that dumb and funny. So I kind of liked that character. It reminded me of back in the day.
He's special.
I like Kingpin, killing a guy over ice cream, because that's what Kingpin would do. I didn't like Kingpin submitting to Maya with the hammer.
And what I had to do to get there.
Get that weak shit off my track!
Or the fact that he ran away after she magically took his pain away. These things did not work at all. It was out of place for Kingpin, period. And the fact that they couldn't even get the hammer right. It's kind of funny.
Weird.
Now onto this Hollywood problem. Let's look at another hero. John 117, Master Chief from the Halo series. Chief was placed in a random sci-fi story that I bet was already written and shopped around to no avail. It's mediocre at best if you remove Halo. It's horrible with Halo in it. However, when the rights to Halo came up, they used this existing story and inserted Halo branding, making a mess. The show, which embodied none of Halo and was a facade and ultimately a failure, and let's not forget the only reason it's getting a season 2 is due to contracts, not because it was well liked.
It's so bad!
Now, Echo's lack of emoting reminds me of yet another adaptation, Rings of Power and Galadriel. Yes, the woman with the stiffest face who had no idea she was playing that role until she showed up on set. Yes, a Tolkien tale like no other. So many firsts for the box checking at the cost of $1 billion. Once again, a fantasy tale already written and then adapted once the rights were available. These are the only viable excuses I can think of just to change an existing character so drastically. By the way, I would personally like to thank Jeff Bezos. Rings of Power was some of the first videos I made on here. But am I wrong? First, they changed Echo from Cheyenne to Choctaw because the pre-written script required a Choctaw woman. Also, they changed her power set completely because they needed it to match the existing story. Remove Echo, insert generic Choctaw woman, remove Kingpin and insert generic drug dealer mafia boss, promote it as such. It might have been pretty good. I probably would have watched it. This can also be pointed towards Halo and Rings of Power. Remove the branding and make your own characters and backstory. They could have been decent, not bombs.
Wait, what?
Now, if you can watch Rings of Power and remove the fact that there's anything Tolkien in it, it's an okay show. It'd been better if it had its own characters. These shows lacked the time needed to craft them, which is part of Hollywood's problem. A show with a small character like Echo and a massive character like Kingpin, you can never bring Kingpin down to her level. This is the part of the reason Hawkeye failed. No way that little girl was taking down Kingpin, a guy that has bested Daredevil several times, almost killed Captain America, and defeated Spider-Man several times. Yet he was defeated by a disabled woman with magical powers that took his pain away.
What'd you do? Huh? What did you do?
You have to ask, why did they move this show back 3 months and release only 5 of 8 episodes? How bad was this show before the delay? Now, I'm sure it's going to be, Wookie, you don't like indigenous people. You don't like women. This wasn't made for you.
Maybe you should shut up.
I actually liked Echo and Hawkeye and wanted a dark and gritty show. We got none of that. Just characters bent to an idealistic showrunner making their own thing with existing characters again. This is why small filmmakers and superstars are the only ones that really care about their projects. Everything else is a cog in the machine of Hollywood. They don't care about you. They don't care about your lore. They don't care about your fandom. They just keep dumbing it down to fit a society that is constantly dumbing itself down.
Stupid people.
Yep, it checks the boxes. Make it and ship it. This is where I think everybody's gone off on a tangent and ruined existing characters. This doesn't cover Star Wars. It's its own thing. But that's what I've got. I'm Looking Be Bad. Do the thing. Like, sub, share. Do all those things. Drop a comment down below. You have a good one.
Chewie, is that you?